Yes, there is a lot of time, and there's a lot of time left to still connect with people because, as we see it, each second is a chance and an opportunity to awaken people. So there is a lot to do, and we are working hard to push lovingly people to see the signs and to see the information we want them to know and hear. So there is a lot of work happening to be able to connect. If you'd imagine each unit of seconds as a big day, and those days are all laid out in front of us for miles and miles and miles, shall we say, for this analogy. There's still a lot to do, and we have packed in so much to be able to trigger people into falling into place. We don't want to push them outside of their free will limits. We are doing it with respect. The soul wants that greater achievement to have awoken up themselves. Sometimes people will feel frustrated if someone has come to try and help them awaken and given them this information when they were not ready. Everyone's truly ready to find this information, but they have to do it on their own terms. So if you want to use this another analogy, you're all watching a movie, and just towards the end, someone reaches over and spoiler alerts, the final scene. No one wants that. Everyone wants to have the experience of the beautiful journey of the movie unfolding as it was designed. And remember, while we're using this analogy, you are the creators and writers of that movie. And so you have forgotten, and this is a purpose, you're taking these twists and turns and learning along the way, experiencing and exploring on the way while you're sitting in that movie theatre, having the last final scenes of this very epic movie play out. And so we're using a lot of analogies here to explain while we feel like it is the last scene of this movie. In our perspective, there is still a lot to take place. Those are miles of units of seconds, shall we say, there's so much. Each individual person wants to have their own way to awaken. And while a lot want to awaken after the broadcasts, during the broadcasts, a lot have also wanted to have done it cleverly by themselves. This is important. And while some people have been contracted to help others awaken, you're questioning now, are you disservicing people by trying to awaken them when they're not ready? And you have all experienced trying to awaken someone who is not ready. And then reflect how that has felt for you. It's not a happy feeling. You're expecting them to be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I totally get it. Whew, thanks, Guy, for giving me those heads up. No one's going to say that. Everyone's going to resist the information because the information's just too huge. Even the bigger named people here who believe that they know everything about what's about to happen have resisted every single time people have come to them trying to ask them about the bigger picture information. They are resisting just as much as the ordinary other person who is not connected in their belief to any metaphysical realm, any spirituality. So everyone is at their own pace. But we have a lot to do, and the people who have wanted us to come in and profoundly activate them through dreams, lucid dreams or your ordinary dreams, or even in your awakening days where suddenly you feel like in a very short space of time, you have been prodded and prompted to see certain videos and actually start questioning things that you would never normally. So when people are waking up now, it's extremely rapid. Each month this year have been massive lengths of time for everyone to have their awakenings when they've wanted to prior to the events. So you can ponder yourself how long it has taken you. You know, the people who are very proud that they have been doing this work for decades, and like people who are proud of this sobriety and how long they've been clean, and they use that date and time as a measurement of how well they've done. A lot of people also use the years that they have been awoken as also a badge of honor. Unfortunately, the new people who are coming into this way of thought trust, just like with the bigger platforms and influencers with the bigger number of followers, the length of time you've been following this work and also the amount of followers that you have with this work does not equal knowledge, does not equal the understanding of what is about to happen. And so using your intuition there, you will be able to navigate through who works for you. You are all at different levels, and that is completely fine. It is not a judgment, but you will quickly and rapidly evolve and awaken in this very short amount of time. So we are busy. There's also, as you're noticing, a lot of energy spikes, and you can view your Schumann resonance for this information and sense what you feel. You may want to sense your bigger physical ascension symptoms and look at the Schumann resonance and just kind of keep a note of when you feel certain ways, what does that look like? We don't want you to become obsessed with it, but just note and see what works for you. Is it the highs or is it the lows, and how does your body work? It won't always be obvious when you're using that map to map out what your body is and how your body is responding, because that Schumann resonance now is only able to measure the lower frequencies, and there is so much more going on behind the scenes, or above the scenes, actually, we want to say. So as the planet is expanding in its vibrational rates, and as the frequencies are rolling and waving and doing all the higher frequency attunements and adjustments, so is the humans collectively. We have activated simultaneously a select few around the world to be able to be having the quicker involvement upgrades faster, to see how this is all working out. They are almost like our guinea pigs, but we say that with love, because we are pushing their bodies a little bit faster to see how they're coping. We're very much aware of the discomfort of the ringing in the ears, the nausea, the dizziness, the lack of appetite, and the lack of sleep. We understand this is weighing on your minds tremendously, because you can start worrying. What's happening to my body? Am I having a stroke? Is it something to do with the virus? You know, we understand you all are fearful, and can be fearful of these things when it happens to you. So keep in mind that it's all fine. If you want to balance yourself, you know, to go out into nature in with the bare feet, you know, to add water into your diets more, and, you know, not worry. If you're starting to really focus on every little thing that's happening to your body, that will become an obsession. So when your bodies are feeling more tweaked and tuned up with the higher vibes, just surrender into it. Take yourself to the bedroom or the couch if you can, and just slow things down, including your worrying mind. And so we have used and selected a few people to monitor them, to see how their bodies are adjusting, and then we will look at that results and be able to then apply it to more people. We know that the Pleiadians all did have a bigger upgrade collectively, and that was more than just the select few that we normally use, and that is all fine. So those people are for trying to grade them and update them with the crystalline bases to be able to make it the more frequency that your bodies will be residing in. There is also other people who are having ascension symptoms, which are at the other scale, which is purging those emotions they do not want to deal with, purging the physical and the emotional, purging the physical and the emotional blocks that the person has not wanted to deal with. And so those upgrades, those ascension symptoms are squeezing out all the toxins from your body, emotionally and physically. And so this is important. If you are not willing to do your own inner work, it will be forced upon you, because this was your agreement in your life contracts to have this happen. While we understand that when you had made your life contracts, things had been different, and you were going to stay on this planet as it was, because it was supposed to have been not so, it was supposed to have been positive twist. And now it is a positive twist, but it is off planet and it's not on planet. And this is why a lot of people are still saying that 5D is merely a mindset and it's nothing physical, you're not going anywhere. And we keep telling you, if you're very much aware of the messages on this channel, we keep telling you that that's not quite the case. And so things have changed. And it is important to acknowledge that those things have changed for very valid reasons. We're not doing this to you. We're not evacuating the planet for shits and giggles. You know, this is a very serious time for this planet, and we have to honor the planet and her consciousness. And it is all set. Nothing can change this now. The planet is very willing and ready to go. And so it has to take place and precedence over the humans. So we're helping her and we're helping the beings, and it is a very, very, very busy time. Things do have to happen in order for things to unravel. We do like to have things in order to be able to monitor and process things, because this is the first time that a 3D planet is going to have their smaller versions of their fifth dimensional bodies attuned to them while still on this planet. This is, you know, we're very focused on it. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and you don't have to worry, because we always have your best interests at heart. And so while it may seem scary or concerning as you have heart palpitations, or you're feeling very sick when you're thinking about certain types of foods, if you could do your homework and trust that everything is okay and nothing bad is happening to you, everything fantastic is actually happening to you, use your intuition, you will know it's all fine. And if you have not felt any ascension symptoms at all, and you feel like, oh, I'm missing out, oh my goodness, does this mean I'm going to stay on old earth? No, this means that you have done your own inner work. This means you are naturally upgrading and finally uptuning yourself. You don't have any blockages. You are just completely going with the flow, and you're at such a balanced level that you are just riding with them. And so there is no, you're not being punished if you're having these ascension symptoms, but you're also not being punished if you don't. Each individual is unique. So please don't compare other people's situations to yourself. Embrace what's happening to you, honor you, trust you, and you can trust us to be making sure that what's happening to you is for the best and highest good. So we want to just reassure you. We want to keep messaging you and talking to you through this, because we know that when you listen and hear us trying to give you the best information that you can hear right now, it gives you great comfort. And we also know that when you're not listening to these sessions and you're marinating yourself back into the 3D stress and tensions, you can also forget about that too. So again, we think you're all doing a tremendous job. The people who have been following us have been naturally upgraded. You have had quite powerful advancements, even though you feel like, whoa, have I? Please go back to those first few months. Consider yourself how you were before the shutdowns, before the lockdowns. Measure yourself against your friends who you felt like you were on the same path spiritually. Remembering it's also not a race. But we also know that you do like to compare yourselves to make sure you are, in quotation marks, normal. And we want to say to you very firmly, you are normal. Each and every one of you are normal. You are exactly perfect, exactly doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing right now. Especially if you're listening to these messages, you are actually advanced and you're normal. So we want to say this to you, not because you need the ego, but you do need the empowering and the love and the support that we're always willing to provide you. So yes, we want to say good job to you. And we are very glad for the people who know that we have connected with them directly, because it's important for you to start trusting that we are here. And while you may not remember your dreams, you can ask to remember your dreams. Ask for us to show you what you need to see in your dreams and ask for you to remember them. And the best way you can do that is when you wake up, start writing down everything that came, because a dream will just fade. It is just a memory, a mist of memory, a mist of experience. And when you wake up, that mist will evaporate and disappear. That is an analogy. It is not literal, as you know, but there's many ways for you to remember our connections. So you have to ask us, just like anything, you have to ask. We can't show you and do a lot of these things without your permission, because that would be breaching your free will. So we are happy for you to start going within and asking for symbols, asking for answers, and just keep being open to it. And you may keep asking, you may keep missing the messages that we're trying to give you. So you keep asking, don't stop. We won't stop either. So it is about using your intuition. If you feel like there is a symbol there, ask within yourself and see where you feel the negative or the positive, the affirmation or the confirmation, or the denial. No, that wasn't us. That's your mind playing tricks on you, versus absolutely that's us. Yes, hello. We have been here always. So it is tremendous times for everyone to be experiencing this. And we also know that a lot of people are very impatient as well and wanting it to be done and dusted. And, that is part of the learning. That when you're in a rush, you will not notice the finer beauties of the things as you whiz by. You must be very much in the present, in case you have smaller inner work to do. So notice anything that rises up within you, and work through it and let it just rise up, acknowledge it and release it. And it is that simple. So enjoy the time that you have left to explore and appreciate people, and especially when you know you can release any hostility that you have over anyone or anything. Now, while you've got this neutral emotion, you can go back and revisit that friendship or that family member, or that situation, and see how that works for you. Obviously, if that bridge has been burnt still on the other side, it's not possible for you to fully reach through. But you'll be surprised how many people who you've thought you can write off because they're very toxic and very close-minded have suddenly had their own massive awakening, and they may not be the same people that you think they are. So this is always good to kind of just double check, actually, that person that you did adore and have that nice connection with all those years ago. What are they doing now? How are they viewing things? And this was actually what we wanted you to do, and connect with the people with your worry and fear about the virus coming in and getting you all. Is that with your fear of your mortality, potentially, right outside your door, you had to suddenly make contact with people that you really started thinking about and worrying about and wanting to reach out to, but you had that block of, well, we had that argument that time, or, oh, they weren't liking the same TV program. We say this with jokes, but good friendships have gone sideways for small things. And so is there anyone that you have been thinking about, and maybe dropping them a line, and reaching out to them just to see in case they have also grown? You do not know. And your minds, with your fear and worry and judgment, which you're all very good at mastering now, so there's no shame in that, you may be surprised. And having more like-minded people on your side, in your crew, to connect with will always be the better approach than trying to be a hermit. And so when you sort of feel like you are really strong within your own belief systems and you don't feel like you need external support, going out to reach those people just in case they need support, or just in case, my goodness, you're at the same level, and how bloody marvelous is that? Take that opportunity. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. You're all human and you all need to connect. And so while we have been trying to nurture you and empower you, you can also feel like you have the safety and the boundaries, not to allow toxic people to wash over you again and take you offline, because you've grown from that. You've learned from that, and there is no vulnerability potentials there. So you know to keep your boundaries. So we say give it a shot. See, just for challenging yourself to know that you can be the bigger person with the bigger heart, to reach out to someone and just check in, and they may not respond, or they may. This is about your service to humanity now, to check in and connect, and use your intuition, and just be proud of yourself for doing that, because we know that it takes a tremendous amount of bravery to make the first move. And while some of you may not be so proud of your own actions in this severing of the relationship, you're all allowed to make mistakes, and you're all allowed to grow from it. And remember that we only truly judge ourselves the most. No one else judges us more than we judge ourselves. So remember that when you're trying to pluck up courage to connect. And we say this with much love, and we do want to connect with you more as the time gets closer. But we want to just keep giving you these little thoughts of wisdom and approaches. Of course, you don't have to do anything we say, but we just want you to know that we love you and that we are here for you, and you must call on us so we can come and help you if you want our help and guidance and strength and anything else that you need from us. Don't be shy, because we are waiting for you. And we say this with much love.